Kayfabe Avenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks. I'm Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And this is Kayfabe Avenue. And that has been a long time since I've said that.
a long ass time. I mean, it's been a long ass time since I've said it. My damn self. A little COVID hiatus. You know, a lot of things going on. The world is changing. A lot of moving parts. So, but we're back.
Back.
You know, we're finally back for. Whenever we do come back, we try to make it a big show to come back for something really worthwhile. Talking about, you already know if you see the background, talking about AEW Revolution, which is a bit later tonight. So
it's usually on Saturdays. I don't know why they changed it. I don't know why they changed it to Sunday.
That did catch me off guard when they announced it. I didn't even catch that until earlier this week.
Yeah.
But they're doing like I think they did WrestleCon on Saturday or some kind of like convention on Saturday. So
they had some event on Saturday where they had like live bands playing. It was like meet and greets and stuff like that. So they made it a whole weekend with Rampage. The Fan Fest was yesterday, and then out tonight is going to be Revolution.
So before we even get into Revolution, I feel like we should probably touch on like the state of AEW a little bit, kind of like the state of wrestling going into Revolution.
Yeah.
So, you know, especially coming off this week past on Dynamite, the big news. Do you feel like he kind of debuted that news with as much anticipation as he tried to say? I feel like every time Tony says it's a big announcement, he like kind of overhypes it, or his hype overpowers the fans a little bit.
Yeah.
But he announced he purchased Ring of Honor, which is definitely a huge thing. But with no roster attached, is it really as big as he said? Like, it's mostly a tape library at this point, maybe a couple of belts, pay-per-view names, stuff like that. He could use the material, but he has no roster attached to it, which is what I thought. You the one that told me, like, oh shit, no, they released their entire, roster. You reminded me of that. So it's like he really just got all the trademarkable stuff, all the logos, and if he wants to do a Ring of Honor themed event or bring the belts back for Ring of Honor, he could do that.
Yeah. Well, the rumor is it seems like ROH is going to be like a developmental for AEW. Ring of Honor still has shows. I know they have the Super Card of Honor that's next month. That's in April.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. It's looking like what I think is going to happen is FTR is going to be FTR versus the Briscoes. You might get like Bryan Danielson versus Jonathan Gresham. You might probably see a Jay Lethal match. You might see a CM Punk match back in Ring of Honor. I think they should let it run how it was going to run, and then just take the AEW talent that you can't really get on Dynamite and Rampage every week, and then have them go against Ring of Honor guys, especially the women, but they don't really have a set roster yet. They said it was supposed to be like a handshake agreement per show deal.
It's really an independent contract situation with Ring of Honor. That's like, this is probably the truest form of that terminology ever used. Like, they're really freelancing people. So I don't know. I feel like if he's gonna do that, leave it as a developmental, that's pretty cool. Maybe this will give him an opportunity to also take a few people that maybe are not ready for the Dynamites and Rampages yet, put them on a Ring of Honor developmental situation, bring back some of the talent that Ring of Honor originally let go to help. I don't know. I think they need to focus on AEW itself, though.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. There's a lot of great talent in Ring of Honor. That's why I think Tony Khan should just let it run as its own separate. I mean, you can integrate guys from Ring of Honor and throw guys from AEW's in there, but I was going to second that. I think AEW at this point, with as loaded a roster that they have, they need to focus on AEW. They need to focus on the toys they already got, and really let Ring of Honor, do its own thing just under the ownership of AEW.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything specific from Ring of Honor you'd like them to implement in AEW television? Like they did the honor code in that first match. I knew Bryan Danielson wasn't gonna stick to the honor code.
Right.
But that's one of the things that they did bring back, at least temporarily.
I would like to see that, because AEW, they have gray areas with their baby faces and their heels, and they have tweeners. So I think in the situations where AEW does they have baby face versus baby face, bring in the honor code. I know they have like this stipulates like the pure championship thing where you only get like a couple of rope breaks. You really don't go to the outside. I think under certain situations, you bring in some of the Ring of Honor stuff, but if it ain't broke, really don't fix it. It really, AEW got their matches, they got the lights out stuff. I think they can cherry pick things from Ring of Honor, and what works for them, and what doesn't. But I don't think AEW really needs like the Ring of Honor World Champion. I think on like the next pay-per-view, maybe you have Jonathan Gresham or whoever the ROH champion defended, but I don't think we really need the ROH or the TV title or those tag teams being in regular circulation in AEW, because then it comes like an oversaturation of belts. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a situation where there's a lot of championship belts in there that you don't really need. It should be special like on pay-per-views or those TV specials that they do. That's when those belts should be brought in. But I don't think like on a regular we need to really.
I think that would be if they ever adopted like the WWE style as far as drafting and separation of shows. I think that would probably be the best opportunity to bring back like the Ring of Honor World Championship at least. Yeah. So Tony this past week they had that media call or whatever. Mm-hmm. They said that Kenny Omega comes back, they're gonna have the trios titles. So we probably gonna see an expansion of. Well, we're guaranteed to see an expansion of AEW with that division, which is much, much, much needed. It'll give so much more prestige to like these stables that have a million people in it.
Right.
I'm looking at you, but
But they have the roster, like you said. They got the roster to do a trios championship, so they should.
And I think Rampage needs to be 2 hours, and this is probably the best opportunity to do that too.
You know what? Yes. I agree with you, but it's the time slot, because they don't want to go. And I think smartly, you don't want to go against SmackDown. I don't think they should, but it's just like, are people really going to watch a show from 6 to 8, or are people really going to watch a show from 10 to 12? I think some like Revolution, like coming up to pay-per-views, since they only do them, there needs to be like the go-home show to Revolution or whatever pay-per-views. Rampage needs to be 2 hours. It needs to be 2 hours of Dynamite, 2 hours of Rampage. And like on those TV specials, you know what I'm saying? Make like turn the TV specials over to Rampage, make those 2 hours. Because sometimes we just need more AEW.
Yeah. Even if you throw like a road to Revolution like they used to do, and just throw it at the end of the show just to give people more insight, something like that.
Right.
They could do that too, but I'd rather see a 2 hour Rampage. They got a lot of people, man, and it's seemingly not stopping. And with the acquisition of Ring of Honor, there's a lot of potential to do a lot of things. So with that being said, before we even get into the card, I'm calling it. Cody comes back with Ring of Honor, a stable from Ring of Honor, a stable of new guys. Like, nothing is making me believe that he's gone from AEW.
He's gone, man.
Nothing's making me believe this. I'm saying I'm sticking to my guns. They're already throwing the articles out there that WWE supposedly lowered the deal or some shit and tore up the old one, and I think it's a giant work. Cody,
a giant work.
I think it's a giant work. They're still producing Cody Rose toys.
I mean, you got to think those toys have been already in the works. Like, they've been in the works for a while.
They have like the very last suit that he was wearing. Like,
I think it's a shoot that he left AEW, but I don't think it's necessarily guaranteed that he's going to WWE.
I think they shot themselves into a work.
Maybe that might be the case. That might be the case. Like, you know, like they shot into work.
The contract situation, I believe that's true. For sure. But Ring of Honor got bought out. Do we really see him making an impact for Impact?
Nah, he's like no disrespect.
New Japan with a new family.
Yeah.
New Japan is not looking right for him with a new family. What's left?
Right.
Go back and everything you said. Go to WWE. It's not good. It's not good.
But money talks though. But money talks though, man. WWE, they got the money to pay it out. You know, money talks. But I personally don't think Cody is going to WWE. I don't think it.
I don't think so either.
It's hard to go from, you know, writing your own script, going from undeniable to, going from undesirable to undeniable to here's a script, pal. You know, it's
back to undeniable.
Undesirable to undeniable. You know what I'm saying? To go from promos like that to here's your script, pal. And I think, you know, WWE, we at this point, if you've been a long time fan, they've really given you no reason to trust them. This is not hating on the WWE. This is their own product. Let's say hypothetically Cody does come in. Cody comes in, he's hot for 3 months, and then by SummerSlam, he's a United States Championship.
Let's throw him back in the Stardust costume or some polka dots quicker than we can say polka dots.
I wouldn't trust WWE unless it's like written in the contract. Like, yo, like I don't believe that.
I don't trust WWE with anything that doesn't involve Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns.
And so this is proof of their own product.
Even if they said, "Oh yeah, Cody's gonna come in with the notoriety that he deserves from that the fans believe he deserves," I still don't trust it. Look at AJ Styles, not for nothing. They did right by AJ, but he's cooled the fuck off.
Yeah, he's definitely.
And it's not just now.
And he was never treated like the man. I'm sorry, AJ was never treated, and this happens to a lot of champions. You get the championship belt, and you never made event anything.
He was a good champion, but yeah, I can.
They never gave him that. They never gave him the Roman rub. Nobody gets the Roman or the Brock rub. You know what I'm saying? Like they just don't. They just don't. I mean, I would like to believe if Cody went to WWE, he'd get to keep his own entrance music. He'd get to cut those really great promos. But Vince didn't create that Cody. So if Vince didn't create that Cody, I don't know if that Cody is going to be able to survive.
That's why I think it's a giant work right now.
Right.
Because you're not. The way they trying to make AEW, especially storyline wise, they're trying to go old school. They know people are smart as hell. We're paying attention to contracts and whatever the hell we can scrap from the internet. They know we're paying attention to that. This is probably if this is a work, it's gonna be the best work they've ever done to the fans. They're not ready for that.
But I think if they are gonna do that, then you gotta wait a while. Like if Cody does eventually come back to AEW, you got to give this some time. You got to give this so people kind of,
let's say he comes back not under AEW. He's not signed to AEW. He's signed to Ring of Honor. He brings back. He could be Ring of Honor's champion.
I can see that. I would still say just wait a while.
He can't go for the AEW belt. I don't know if now he's no longer with the company. Maybe that's a part of the storyline too. Oh, he's no longer with the company. He comes back. The contract's over. You can fight for the world title again.
I never understood that stipulation. I felt like Cody always shot himself in the foot with that. With him never being able to go for the AEW world.
I
I
understand
never
it
understood it.
because look what impact it did. Him not being in that title picture. The TNT championship is just as important.
It's true.
Starts with what Cody did.
Yeah.
Cody solidified what's his name? Sorry, Brody Lee. Skip my mind real quick. He solidified that title reign for him.
Right.
He did the same thing for Sammy Guevara just now.
Yo, Sammy Guevara's reign. His first reign was mad, but this reign, he's on fire.
It starts off with the cutter Cody took from the ladder.
Right.
Starts with that.
Right. This title reign is. I mean, respect to Adam Page, but I mean, Sammy's just had more matches. He just had more TV time. The way I view it right now, honestly, the TNT Championship is the number one strap at AEW right now
because it defended and that starts with Cody. That all starts with Cody. So I see why he did that stipulation. But yeah, I'm calling it. I think if they're gonna do big surprise, any kind of big surprise, I think it'll be that.
I think I'm not against it. I just think they should wait a while. Let that story really let people kind of forget about Cody. Like just, and then all of a sudden I know, and that gives them time to just focus on their talent, to just focus on the toy, like we were speaking about earlier. Focus on your own toys for a while, and then, have a whole.
Technically, Ring of Honor will be is already his toy.
It is his toy. You're right. It is already his toy.
So if you want to keep that branding going, you use the people that maybe are not really used much on your roster already on AEW.
Yeah.
You bring in, the people that Ring of Honor was really using, the mainstays that were coming back, the Briscoes, stuff like that. You know how many dream matches?
Yes.
People.
I think FTR is going to happen at the Supercard of Honor because they already started at the last Ring of Honor show. They built to that. It went cold, but I think now with AEW owning it, I think we're going to see FTR versus the Briscoe. Yeah, there's so many dream matches. Death Triangle versus Briscoe.
I definitely see him trying to inject some like Jeff Yu into Ring of Honor sooner rather than later, especially if they got an event coming up.
Right.
So I definitely see him trying to use Revolution as a way to help Ring of Honor a little bit more.
That could happen tonight.
The perfect catalyst for that. Yeah. And I don't know if you've been paying attention to those videos. I don't know if they're official or not, but there's been like videos going around like promoting Bray Wyatt.
Nah, man, that's fan made, man.
All those other stuff. So there's been rumors of that too.
I only say that really because he's been working on that movie. I don't think we're going to see Bray for a minute, like wrestling for a minute. I think he'll come back. I think Bray will definitely come back. But honestly, Halloween 2022.
Yeah, that's the perfect for him. If he's even going to go with the spiritual cult gimmick, anything like that.
I think he's gonna stick. I don't think it's gonna be like so much like the Fiend. Like I don't think it's gonna be like that, like Bray Wyatt. I think it's gonna be like a good mix between Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, but a bit more grounded. Because I think for him to be able to really go into AEW, it has to be a little more. It has to be a bit more grounded.
Yeah. All right,
we'll see.
Enough with the surprise speculation. Let's get on to the actual card.
Do it.
So the first match, there's 3 matches on the pre-show, so pretty lengthy pre-show for people who can't catch the actual pay-per-view. You can catch that on YouTube, so that's worth it. We got Chris Statlander versus LaylaHersh. Now, I haven't really been following Dark as closely as I used to, so I'm not really too sure why they're beefing, but they had a little video package on Dynamite. But it seems like they have a heated rivalry going on right now. I love LaylaHersh. I love her moveset, her ability. Chris Statlander has been doing her thing too, and those are probably 2 people that I feel like in the women's division that need the spotlight.
Yeah,
need to be.
The story is that they were friends. They were a tag team. And then they got put into a match against each other. Chris Statlander won that match. Chris Statlander kind of did like the code of honor. Went for a handshake after. LaylaHersh smacked her hand, and then they were forced to be a tag team. So it's the kind of, can they coexist? And then one day, they were like teasing it. You know what I'm saying? That LaylaHersh could turn, and then one day she just turned on her and just pounded her ass.
Pounded that ass.
Pounded her ass. Nobody's gonna pound my ass.
Oh man.
And so it went then, but they had some good matches. Yeah, they had some. I think I'm gonna go with LaylaHersh because Chris Statlander won the last match, and AEW likes to kind of keep these rivalries going. So I don't think this is the end of the rivalry. I'm gonna go with LaylaHersh for the dirty victory.
I'm gonna have to agree with you for the simple fact that Chris Statlander's had a little bit more shine on big events and just overall been showcased more than LaylaHersh. And I think now's the time, if any, to showcase a new woman in a big event. I think it's time for LaylaHersh to win. So I'm gonna agree with that.
Yeah.
So the next match on the pre-show is Hook versus QT Marshall. You know we going for Hook.
Come on, man. Send Hook. Send Hook.
It's all about Brooklyn. I gotta go for Hook. I got to.
Send Hook. I think this is a good. I would have waited if I was Tony Khan. I would have not put this on the buy-in. I would have just waited for next Rampage because it seems like Rampage is kind of like Hook's show, or I would have used this as an opportunity to finally debut Hook on Dynamite. I mean, it's always good to see a Hook, but I feel like
I see where you're coming from, but I think it's probably best that they did it with Hook only on Rampage. So there's something that you go to that show specifically for.
Right. And I feel like Revolution this card is so stacked. Even a buy-in is stacked. I feel like he kind of gets.
I was surprised.
He gets a little
matches.
Yeah, he gets lost in it. So I would have saved this for Rampage. But yeah, definitely send Hook. Hook with the choke out and like this. I think this is going to be his toughest match though. Like we're really going to see more. We're going to have to see more of Hook's moveset.
QT's not a pushover by any means.
He trained half these guys.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to push him. Will we see blood? Will we see the first ever? It's a pre-show, right?
Yeah, it's pre-show. I mean,
it's AEW.
right.
Probably, we're definitely going to see somebody get choked the fuck out, though.
Yeah, definitely. Send Hook.
All right, we got the match that was added on Rampage, House of Black versus the Death Triangle. This was needed. I'm surprised that they even waited so long to announce that match. And I'm extra surprised it's on a pre-show.
Yeah, I think it's just because the Revolution card is just so. I mean, it's stacked. Like the Revolution card is stacked. As much as I love Death Triangle, I know it's a returning and kind of debuting Eric Redbeard. I think the house always wins. I will go with the House of Black.
Wait, they're debuting Eric Redbeard?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is his first match. I mean, he's been in AEW before, but this is his first match.
Wait, that all happened on Rampage?
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit. I got to watch that again.
Yeah, man. Rampage. Oh, my God. Did you see that Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Andrade match?
Shit, missed it.
Oh, yeah.
I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
that just threw me for a loop. How stacked can the House of Black get? Like, like monsters. Like, literally.
Right. Remember he said that AEW had no big guys? Now, like, they freaking come and land to the Giants now.
Heavyweight division is forming. The problem with it before was not so much the lack of heavyweight guys. It was the ones that they had are like inexperienced.
Right.
Hobbs is inexperienced, even though I like him. Definitely behind him. Wardlow, definitely, he's gotten better now with the gimmick he's running now, but yeah, we definitely got a heavyweight division forming now.
Yeah, I mean Hobbs, Wardlow,
I think I gotta go with the House of Black, man. I just personally, it's what happened to Cody. Whenever you step into the House of Black, you get it booed. I'm sorry.
Yo, they're super over. They're super over, and it's I think it's just Death Triangle can because the real match. Not no disrespect to Eric Redbeard, but we all waiting for Phoenix to come back.
Yeah.
So I think when Phoenix come back, that's when maybe the Death Triangle get that win. But yeah, I'm going with the House is Black as well. Plus,
I think as far as the booking of this, I think they could have did better because this whole Pentagon turned into a new, like for people who didn't follow his AAA work and stuff like that, I had no idea.
Right.
No idea what's this transformation. It felt like the same Penta that we've seen.
Yeah, I agree.
Then
They have done some more video packages.
I guess the House of Black. So
right.
I agree. I think I'm still gonna go for the House of Black.
Yeah, I agree.
We got new people in the group, so they definitely got to show out.
Right. Yeah. House of Black for the win. But yeah, the AEW could have did a better job with the video packages showing why Penta made this transit because we know we watched all the other stuff. We get it. Right. This goes back to Lucha Underground, AAA, but they didn't do a good job with letting the audience know, which AEW usually does. They usually do, but they didn't do it this time. But yeah, House of Black for the dub.
Kind of came out of left field.
Facts.
But it did close the loop on that Spray storyline, which I'm still waiting for. What's her name from the Varsity Blonde?
Julia Hart.
I'm waiting for.
Yeah. She got a turn.
Something got to happen with that.
Yeah, she got a turn.
So let's move on to the actual card. Big match, big guys. A lot. We were talking about heavyweight division. A lot of the future of the heavyweight division is going to be here, and it's the face of the Revolution ladder match. We got
stopping the meats.
Keith Lee, which was the big debut about 3 weeks back. So we got Keith Lee, we got Powerhouse Hobbs, we got Ricky Starks. So we got two members of Team Taz in this match. We have Orange Cassidy, we have Wardlow, and Christian Cage. So two of the best friends, right? No. Two of Team Taz won.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy. For some reason I thought Christian Cage. I'm bugging. He's part of Jurassic Express, technically, I guess.
Yeah, technically.
What do you think about the match? What do you think about the people in it? And who's your guy?
Oh man, this is gonna be slapping the meats. This is gonna be a really fun match. I was originally going for Keith Lee, but Keith Lee does not have to win this match because you don't really necessarily lose this match. Like nobody gets pinned, nobody gets submitted or anything like that. So Keith Lee could, he could lose this match without getting pinned or submitted or anything like that. So I'm gonna go with Wardlow because of the story that they got going on with MJF and the Pinnacle. I think it will be great if Keith Lee won this, but I don't think Keith Lee needs this. Wardlow needs this to justify, Tony, give me a contract. Max, I no longer work for you. Then you can continue that story, which that story has literally been going on for like 2 years. Yeah. I don't think people keep that.
What's funny is that you say that. I kind of forgot about it. MJF woke me the fuck up to that storyline thread where he smacked the hell out of him this past Wednesday. We'll get more into MJF, but I forgot about that little storyline thread. He woke me up to it. So yeah, that's a good call. I could definitely see Wardlow being a possible contender. I think I'm gonna go with Ricky Starks. I feel like out of everyone in this match, I think Ricky Starks has the most to gain. Christian Cage is, a legend in wrestling already. He doesn't need the face of the Revolution. Wardlow is a great pick, but just to go against you a little bit because we've been agreeing a lot. I'm not gonna pick Wardlow, but that's a great. That everything you said, I agree with. Orange Cassidy doesn't need this. He's been kind of the face of the Revolution, one of the guys that they've been focusing on since the beginning. Ricky doesn't have much shine outside of a couple promo work here. He has that belt, barely defends it. It's not a big thing. They don't over publicize it, which is kind of the idea of the Taz title.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely see Ricky Starks winning in the situation, probably where Hobbs and Keith Lee are going at it, and which allows Ricky Stark to win. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, Ricky Starks is not a bad choice. I'm a big fan of Ricky Starks. I believe he's part of the future. He's part of the future when you talk about like the Jungle Boys and the MJFs and Sammy Guevara's. I think Ricky Stark's name is right up there with the Wardlows, with what I'm saying, with the powerhouse Will Hobbs. So yeah, I can see that. Him and Keith Lee and Ricky Stark's been having some words, so I can definitely see a match coming after Revolution with those two and with powerhouse Will Hobbs. Slapping the meats.
I'm gonna go as far to say they talk about like the 4 pillars of AEW, the 4 young pillars. I think if Ricky Starks didn't break his neck at the time he did, the start of like his big push, I think he would have definitely been in the talks of being one of the pillars.
Yeah.
Promo work, everything he does is top notch. So definitely see that.
Right.
Moving on, we have the Tornado tag match between, I'm not even gonna say the stable's name is at this point, but Andrade, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy. I don't know what they're calling themselves nowadays.
The AHFO.
Yeah.
Andrade, Hardy, House Office. Office House, something.
The Office House.
right.
Versus Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting.
Woo!
Dang! What do you think about it?
I am okay with Sting never losing a match again. I'm really okay with that. I think Sting has put in the work from the way he got treated, and gosh, the way he got treated in New York. It was horrible. It was horrible. I'm okay with Sting never losing a match again.
You don't play in WWE no more.
That's New York.
Connecticut,
right? Connecticut. The way they treated him up in Connecticut was just, you don't treat a legend like that, fam. You don't treat a legend like that. I love the run that he's having in AEW. I think the good guys win it. I do think the good guys win it, but I don't think we're gonna see not anywhere like near a heel turn, but I definitely think Darby Allin is not happy with not being the TNT champion. So I definitely think there's gonna be some friction with him and Sammy Guevara. Like maybe like after the match, I wouldn't be surprised if Darby Allin like punches Sammy Guevara in the face. Like, yeah, I ain't forget that, fam. Like, I still need that belt.
Yeah.
So, and Andrade and Matt Hardy are definitely gonna fall out. That's definitely going to happen. They've been teasing Jeff. Jeff's contract's almost up. So yeah, all that's gonna fall.
Yeah, I think he got like 2 weeks. Then he comes back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Darby Allin, Sting, Sammy too. Just because I see Andrade and them falling out more so than Darby Allin and Sammy letting the TNT title get between the women.
Right.
So I'm gonna go for that. I also hot take. I feel like this shouldn't even be on the main card. It should be demoted to the pre-show, and they should move House of Black versus Death Triangle up to the main show.
I agree. I think it's just because it's Sting. I think because you got Sting in there. That's why.
Yeah. Woo! That's probably the biggest reason.
Yeah. Because I feel the same way. I felt when I looked at it, I was like, But then they did add that
Revolution match.
Right. They did add that match kind of last minute though. Like both of those matches, the Death Triangle and House of Black and the tag team. Well, both of those matches kind of got added last minute. So, but I mean, yeah, I think Sting is the reason why.
That has to be the reason. Because even the House of Black versus Death Triangle has a better storyline.
It does.
Than this match.
Right.
So, let me not shit on it.
Right.
Hopefully it's a great match, it's a good showing. Let's move on though to that bitch show. Jade Cargill defending the TBS championship against Tate Conti. Will it be the TBS championship after this?
Nah, fam. I think Jade Cargill is gonna go to like 50. I think Jade Cargill is probably gonna go to like 50 before she loses her first match. I'm a big fan of Ty Conti, but it's not her time. That's it. I think one day she will have either the TBS or the women's. I think she's a good enough wrestler, and she's fine. Sorry, Sammy, but it's just not her time. It's
Jade's time. Back is there's no promo game.
Yeah, they ain't really. Yeah, ain't no promo game.
She's fine. Sorry, Sammy, she is, but it's not.
Right. Right. And she can go. She can go.
She can go. I do like her in the ring.
But it ain't her time. It's Jade Cargill's time. Like it's just her time.
Jade is an anomaly. She's only been wrestling for like a year. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
Like in wrestling, period. A year. Already a champion, holding it down, looking like a veteran.
Right.
Talks like a vet, holds herself like a vet.
Right.
I don't think it's Jade Cargill's time to lose either.
Right. And she's getting better. She gets better each week.
She does. That's why I'm saying she's an anomaly. But if she does by some chance lose, I wouldn't be mad if Tate Conti won. She's already been the #1 contender, had a great showing against Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be mad because she would be deserving. She'd definitely be deserving. But also with the high focus, especially on the vlogs and stuff, with Tate Conti's relationship with Sammy, it kind of feel like they just gave it to her for that. Mm-hmm. I think they should just like not even do that. I think I'm definitely going with Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I think Car is just her time. Yeah, like I said, I see Jade Cargill getting to like 50, and then maybe like getting her first loss, something like that.
50-0 is a lot.
I mean, hey, yeah, that's the truth.
Make her the Mayweather of AEW.
Right. I mean, she's on the way. She got the looks.
All right, so let's move on to the 3-way tag team championship. We have Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks versus Red Dragon. Now, me personally, I have a few issues with the way they got here.
Yeah.
Could have been done way better.
Yeah.
All you had to do was put the Bucks on the second match which they won, and never take part in the first match.
Right.
For those that are unaware, they did 2 tag team battle royals on consecutive Dynamites with different teams. But miraculously, the Young Bucks were in both because they lost the first to Red Dragon.
Right.
Just for Red Dragon to help them win the second one.
Yeah.
So you build up the tension between them just to have them help them next week, just to have them fight 2 days, 3 days later.
Yeah. That wasn't the best. That wasn't the best way to go about that. That was not the best way to go about that. I would have personally done one battle royal, had Red Dragon win that one. Then I would have had the Acclaim versus the Young Bucks, and the stipulation is because technically the Acclaim got a #1 ranked tag team champion, #1 ranked tag team. I would have had the Young Bucks like, yo, I challenge you for your #1 ranking spot. Have the Young Bucks beat the Acclaim. That justifies them going into the match. Yeah, I think it was sloppy. They didn't need to do two consecutive. I mean, maybe they wanted to have more tag teams involved, but if that's the case, just like you said, have the Young Bucks win one clean and have Red Dragon win one clean. It don't make sense to have both.
You basically shitted on, and the second battle royal to me was way more exciting than the first, because the second one was like, oh shit, I forgot this team. Oh yeah, this team was in the back all the time. Like,
and Dante Martin brother came back too.
Right. They came back. It was a great match just to have the Bucks shit on them. And then it's like, you kind of want to drift away from the executive. They tend to try to stick away from the executives are putting themselves in certain matches situations, but this situation just feels just like that.
Yeah.
Like, they use executive power to get into the second match.
I mean, and if you're gonna do that, say it.
Right.
They're bad guys. They're heels.
They hate you. Yeah.
Right.
Make them hate you even more. Even though I don't, I love the Bucks, but you know, exactly. Use it to build up heel heat. But nonetheless, we're here. And I even think in the whole build-up, Jurassic Express was an afterthought.
Yeah, unfortunately. And here's the thing: Jurassic Express have been having good matches on Rampage. They're definitely worth watching. But when you got Red Dragon and you got the Bucks and you got this elite Bullet Club, years and years, it's hard for Jurassic Express to stand out in that because they're in the middle of all this.
But that's why I think they're gonna win. That's why I think Jurassic Express is gonna win. Because with the tension between the Bucks and Red Dragon, it's the perfect opportunity for their egos to clash, allowing Jurassic Express to win. So in hindsight, kind of having them not showcase as much works, I guess. But I want my champions involved. And I'll speak more about that later on too. But I want my champions more involved, and the shows should be about who the champions are, who's facing the champions. Everybody should be grinding to fight the champions. I think they get lost in so many people that if you're not really watching week to week and remembering everything, you kind of forget. Oh yeah, they were beefing a few weeks back. Okay, you know, like it needs to be consistent, or video package the fuck out of us.
That's what they got to do. So I think sometimes that's what they do a lot of the times. And, you know, for their lack of stories, that's one thing that Connecticut really does good is they'll video pack it. They will bandage a story and make it seem like it was this nice, cohesive, long thread. Meanwhile, if you watch it from week to week, it was really trash. But what AEW does, I think sometimes they give us a little bit too much leeway. Like, they'll harp on things that happened like 2 months ago. And it'll be like, it makes sense, but you got to tie it more. We got to tie it in together a bit more with the video packages. But I like that. I'm actually going to go for Red Dragon. But I like your pick of the Bucks and Red Dragon, just egos getting in the way, bunting each other in the head, kind of putting Jurassic Express to the side. And then boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, get them wrapped up. But I think I can see Red Dragon coming out of this with the straps.
I see that, but I don't think it should go back to that stable. Not necessarily.
Not yet.
Red Dragon, but not back to that stable again.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We have the AEW Women's Championship. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. A year in the making. I think the biggest quote out of this entire storyline feud is going to count this time.
Yep.
Thunder Rosa telling Britt Baker it's going to count this time. So I definitely see Thunder Rosa pulling this W tonight. It's a year in the making. Thunder Rosa holding it down for the women's division, even when she wasn't even AEW signed. So
right.
It's time. Thunder Rosa deserves it. Britt Baker's had an amazing run. She stepped up when we needed a woman to step up and be the face of AEW. So I'm thankful for that. She kind of Kenny Omega this shit.
Facts.
So yeah, hats off to Britt, but I'm going for Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, I agree. I think Britt's amazing. Man, I remember that on a Jericho cruise when she first turned heel. And you know what I'm saying? Now look at her now. It's just like a complete 180 of the character.
We did the 180 right along with her because we were like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right? It was like,
"Who is this? Why is this sloppy match being had right now?" Went from that to, yo, we just need her to turn heel, man. This face shit ain't working. To her being the biggest heel in possibly women's wrestling.
Right.
Holding down the AEW women's division. So
kudos. I think she is because of the fan. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna give her the biggest heel in women's wise, and I'm gonna give that to her over Becky because the fans don't want to boo Becky.
Yeah.
They don't want to. As much as they try to shove it down, we don't want to boo Becky. Man. But Britt Baker gets genuine heel. She come out there, it's boos. Even though they do the DMD with her, but like it's genuine. She gets genuine heat. But yeah, I agree. I think it's time to pull the trigger. Britt's been a great champion, but Thunder Rosa, it's her time. She's been putting in the work. They built up this year-long storyline. That's the story they told, with this last match they had. Once the Goons is out the way, Thunder Rosa can beat Britt Baker one-on-one. So I think it's time to pull the trigger. But honestly, I do think it's Thunder Rosa's time. But if Britt Baker did pull the victory out, I wouldn't necessarily be that upset.
It'd be heat. But yeah.
I'm going to go with Thunder Rosa, though. Yeah.
I'm going with Thunder Rosa, too. But yeah, I can see that. Next match, we have Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston.
This is a mixed one.
I have mixed feelings on this because this story's been told already with Eddie Kingston. We just saw this.
Yeah.
We not? Him versus Mox. What was the story? You never win the big one, kid. Is this going to be Eddie Kingston's story every time?
That has been the story with him, with everybody. But I think this is why he actually wins this one. Not to discount Punk or Daniel Bryanson or John Moxley, but when it comes to AEW, people may not want to hear it, but Chris Jericho he really is like, he is the champion. He really is like one of the...
Yeah, they built the company on him being the champ. So
I think Eddie Kingston getting the victory over Chris Jericho finally kind of ends that narrative of Eddie Kingston can't win the big one. And so I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston. And I see Santana and Ortiz not turning... It's not going to be a heel turn, but it's going to be like a Jericho, we're done with you. Like, we're
I agree with you except for that part. Eddie Kingston is going to win, but I feel like Santana Ortiz are going to destroy Jericho and really say, like, it's over and the circle's done. Sammy already said, if you guys can't figure it out, I'm not going to be a part of it. Sammy's quit already. How many times are we going to see Sammy quit and it not stick?
Right.
Santana and Ortiz, they've been overshadowed. They've been underutilized, underused. And honestly, I feel like they should have even been a part of this championship match, this three-way championship match. As good as that story was with them breaking up with Jericho, but
yeah.
Their stories intertwined with Eddie Kingston, and they're gonna go with Kingston. Yeah, they need to destroy Jericho tonight.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going with Eddie Kingston with that. Santana Ortiz laying it in.
Right. I mean, hey, who knows, man? We might still get a three-way, not tonight, but I maybe, Lucha, Journal will Express, they come out with championships tonight, and then they're gonna have to meet a new Proud and Powerful a little bit down the road, and Proud and Powerful takes those belts from them. But I definitely think their time is coming. Their time is coming. Yeah, the time is coming. But yeah, Eddie Kingston finally breaking the curse and winning the big one.
Next up, we got Bryan Danielson versus Mox. I don't even know how to call this one, but I'm just gonna say, just because Bryan Danielson has been on such a fucking run that I don't want to see him lose, I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson. I keep calling him Daniel Bryan. I'm sorry, it's built in all these years. I'm brainwashed.
Right.
Bryan Danielson just been on a fucking run.
Yeah.
And I kind of need him to beat the shit out of Mox. I need him to make Mox bleed because I want that alliance.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see this. There's so many ways. This is literally 50-50 because I feel like those two are going to beat the hell out of each other and both of them will be bleeding, which will gain Mox's respect. If Daniel Bryanson beats him, then he'll get his respect. But I can also see maybe a tie happening. Like maybe like a double knockout. Like both of those two just, and like that's it. Both of them fall out. But
that's why I felt like this match should have been a first blood match.
Yo, it definitely should have been a first blood match. That way nobody has to take a pin.
I only run with people who I bleed with.
Yeah, that should have been that. Yeah, it should have been a first blood match. Good call on that one. But I think after, no matter what, I do think they join together. I think this has become the new dangerous stable in AEW.
It needs to be. It's intriguing.
I'm gonna go with Mox. Since you went with Bryan Danielson, I'm gonna go with Mox. But I think overall they join together. After this, they join together.
They need to.
Yeah. Facts.
Moving on to another crazy match, the Dark Collar match. CM Punk versus MJF.
Best story in wrestling right now.
Yeah,
period.
It's really great story. So let's kind of go back because we actually watched that episode together.
Yeah.
MJF cut that promo everyone was like super hype about. Like my initial thoughts was it was like great promo.
Mm-hmm.
I could have used less of the kind of race baiting, kind of, trying to get the racial sympathy going. I'm kind of tired of that in AEW storylines. It didn't work for Cody. It worked.
What do you mean? You mean Cody didn't solve racism?
No, he didn't. No.
Oh, okay.
So this was like that. This was like the Cody promo, but from the heel perspective, and you're trying to, it worked. The promo was good. I just could have done less with the, little Jew boy running in, and we've had that on our Kayfabe Avenue. We had that conversation on the Kayfabe Avenue Facebook group. So for those who want to join the conversation, definitely look us up on Facebook. Some people are like, oh, it was, anti-Semitism, and to think it wasn't good. It's not that it's anti-Semitism, but is it? How many stories in the past year or two have tried to take the racial element and then don't even shed the light on the racial issues in the proper way anyways?
Yeah.
How many storylines are going to use that, not just in wrestling, in media, everything? It's overused. I don't want people race baiting to get sympathy. You had me at the tears. You had me at the everything else. It was just that. Could have been better. But it was a great way to get fans to sympathize with MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Great way to get people to actually look at CM Punk like the victim. Great way for people to sympathize with the crowd that was like, well, CM Punk is a fucking sellout. He left us all those years ago. There is a large community that felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
However you felt, they kind of hit the notch on every kind of audience for this match.
Yeah.
The way MJF pulled it off this Wednesday was crazy.
Yeah. This is.
I mean, I called every aspect of it when we was texting on the phone. I'm like, yeah, he's about to Jericho kick him in the balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's giving Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho vibes. He's about to kick him in the nuts.
Right.
Busted him open, hanged him by the dog collar. Imagery that honestly I'm surprised that AEW went to the length to show on TBS.
Hey man, gotta get it over, pal.
They went crazy. So storyline wise, great storyline going in. Great
Mhm.
storyline going in. Outside of that, who I think is gonna win? I think it's time for MJF to get a real decisive like victory and like solidify this run he's about to go on. Because how long are we gonna call him the future until he's the present? The way he treated Wardlow, the fury he had after doing what he did to CM Punk, smacking the hell out of Wardlow after, like I think this is a storyline to finally put MJF in world title picture for everyone. I think this is the opportunity. CM Punk to me doesn't need the win more than MJF does. And CM Punk's been asking us since the beginning of his return. Are you tired of this yet? Are you tired of the smiles and the good guy? And yeah, I'm ready.
Oh man, no, man, not yet, man. No,
I'm ready. I want the CM Punk that's vindictive. I want that CM Punk.
Oh man,
So
I'm
yeah,
not
I'm ready.
yet.
I'm ready. I'm not for him to probably go full heel on everyone, turn his back on the fans or nothing. But yeah, I want that gritty CM Punk. I want that CM Punk that's gonna put you through the paces. Not the I'm happy to be here. I want to shake your hand right after this match. I want the CM Punk that's gonna try to choke you out.
Oh man, you definitely should go back and watch Rampage because he cut a promo from the back when he was like bloodied up. They were like trying to stitch him up. Yeah, I think that's
promo.
yeah. CM Punk, I think.
But you see
Man,
that promo, it hits the nail on the head. It does.
Right.
But I want to see it. I want to see it, and I want to see it going forward. I want this to be the turning point for both of them. I want MJF to come out of here. Now we don't see him as a young guy no more. He's not the young lion no more. He's ready. And I want CM Punk to come out of this like, I'm here. There's no longer welcome back, CM Punk. I'm here. Now it's time to turn up. Now it's time to get down to business. So that's pretty much what I want. I think he really turns up after he suffers that crazy defeat from MJF. So I'm going with MJF.
You made a lot of good points. I think this is going to be an amazing match. It might steal the show. But I do think that CM Punk does get the win because technically MJF beat CM Punk twice in Chicago. That is true. I think MJF, without a doubt, is definitely a future world champion. I feel like that is not the direction that they're going to take him. I think he's going to end up going after the TNT title only because of the whole thing with Wardlow. I think that's going to spin off on its own. And then, probably around this time next year, we're going to move MJF to that world championship. But kudos to AEW for making the AEW and TNT championship feel like they're like equal, like not like it doesn't feel like. I mean, of course, we know that the champion, Hangman is the number one guy, but like they don't make it feel like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this huge.
I was gonna speak about that earlier.
Right. I think CM Punk does win this. I'm looking at this honestly. Even though I think the rivalry, this is the blow-off match, I don't think this is the last time we'll see CM Punk and MJF go at it. I'm calling it now. I feel like MJF will retire CM Punk. I'm looking at this like maybe I've been just watching a lot of Batman, but I'm looking at this like this is CM Punk's Joker. MJF is CM Punk's Joker. Like this is like they're always gonna just find a way back to.
You mean this is the start of the long rivalry to the end?
Right.
This would be the retirement.
Right. I think I seen another 2 years, 2-3 years. MJF retire CM Punk, and they're gonna tie all this stuff back in. It's all gonna come away. But I think tonight CM Punk gets the win. Barely, but I think he gets the win. I think if he wins, it should be
with a Wardlow turn.
I was thinking that. I was thinking maybe, but I don't know, man. There's so many elements. Those plates, I don't know. I'm interested to see how it turns out. But yeah, I could definitely see Wardlow finally just being like, yo, man. Or not even like, but it's not even interfering, but just like, yo, I'm not fighting your battle for you anymore. Like, you got to do this on your own. Like,
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the final match, the main event. Adam Hangman Page versus Adam Cole, baby.
I was waiting for you to say that.
I'm a little deflated because it's like what we were saying. I want my champions to be prominent. Until maybe a week or two ago, I didn't feel Hangman's presence pretty much at all.
Right.
Like, yeah, he was having his defenses here and there, but promo wise, like making the show feel like it's Hangman's show and everyone else is just a part of it. Kind of like Kenny Omega had it, like Mox had it, like Jericho had it. He's been the I'm here when I'm here, The last 2 weeks he finally kicked it into gear and started doing the promos and tying in his Dark Order affiliation and stuff like that.
Right.
Which was pretty cool. But I want him to be more prominent. I don't think they gave him the proper spotlight yet. I think it's just the beginning. I don't see him losing.
Yeah,
it's too early for Adam Cole too.
Yeah.
You just got here. There's a lot of people in line. And in order, I see why they put you in this position, and you're going to give Hangman a great match. It's going to be an awesome match.
Uh-huh.
But it's not Adam Cole's time in AEW yet. And
nope.
they still need a showcase. Come on, we had like 2 years of awesome storyline with Hangman Page, the rise and fall and rise again of Adam Page. So it's time to let him, be the showcase of the show.
Yeah, I agree.
So prove it to me. Prove it to them. Like, this match needs to kill, and I need to see Hangman retain that title.
I definitely agree with you. I feel like Hangman can definitely be showcased more, but I will say all of his title defenses have been just
great.
They've been great. The two with Bryan Danielson, Lance Archer, which I don't think anybody expected that match to be that good.
Yeah.
And this one he's going to have with Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole will eventually one day be AEW champion, but I think it will be as a face, and I don't think it's now. Now is not his time. Hangman, it's Hangman's time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Hangman's. It's Hangman. You pretty much really said all of it. No reason to really repeat what you said. But yeah, it's Hangman's time. It's really and it's not Adam Cole Bebe's time. Not yet. And
I think they need to stay away. Like, they need to focus more on the turmoil of the elite, the new standing of the elite. We need something that when Kenny Omega comes back, it's like, this is not what I want left behind. Like, and I'm not, they need to focus on the turmoil of the elite. There's no real leader. Adam Cole's trying to fit that role without being actually positioned in that role. Right. So focus on that. I don't think
we need more Jay White. We need more Jay White in AEW.
Right.
We need more.
We need to talk about Jay White. Right. Jay White is who knows his involvement in this.
We need more Jay. We need more Jay White, Adam Cole, and Red Dragon. We need more of those guys kind of pushing the Young Bucks kind of to the side, like, yeah, this is the new elite, this is the new Bullet Club or whatever. We need some of that. So like you said, so when Kenny comes back, it's just like, because there's a slow burn with the Young Bucks and Hangman slowly coming together. Then you add Kenny, then you're gonna have Kenny, Hangman, and the Bucks versus Jay White, Cole, and Red Dragon. So yeah, they need to focus a little bit. They need to focus a little bit more on hey, who knows? Might see Jay White tonight. Who knows?
Hey, you reminded me of him. I'm like, imagine what his involvement could be. Well, I don't know. I know we're gonna see some shenanigans, a little bit of the shenanigans with the group, but I just kind of want to see this like one-on-one, like straight up match, like go crazy kind of, I don't want to see too much interference.
Yeah. I mean, AEW is pretty, especially for the pay-per-views, they're usually really good at just giving you a straight up match and a straight clean win or loss and stuff like that. So I think we'll get that. But yeah, I agree. I want to see a straight up. I want to see a straight up match. But then again, based on the storyline, I wouldn't mind a little shenanigans because it makes sense to the story. So I wouldn't mind a little bit of the shenanigans in there.
Keep it at a minimum.
Right. Keep that a minimum.
All right. So with that being said, that's the full card for Revolution. You got any kind of wrap up thoughts? Anything else?
It's gonna be an amazing show. I wish I was gonna be there live, but it's all good. I think it's gonna be an amazing show. AEW, their pay-per-views are usually, show of the year candidates. So I don't think this card is gonna be any different.
I agree. Well, we did the pre-show kind of talk. We should probably do a little wrap-up review when it's all said and done at the end of this. Probably, look forward to that next video or wherever you're listening from. We're on YouTube, Anchor, podcast, wherever you can find. We're on Spotify, Apple Music.
What?
All at Kayfabe Avenue.
What?
Wrong show, Steve. And please stay retired. Please stay retired.
Please stay retired, dude. Good God, please.
Don't. AEW never gets to that point.
Right.
All right. All right. With that being said, we can do this all day.
Right. So yeah, man. You already know. We'll be back for the post review. Yeah. Boom.